Today our passage is from 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 12 to chapter 3 verse 6. And I want to highlight verse 14, which has two, I think, just wonderful images. Paul writes, "But thanks be to God who in Christ always leads us in triumphal procession and through us spreads in every place the fragrance that comes from knowing him." All right, so what's so great about this verse? Well, these two wonderful images. First of all, thanks be to God who in Christ always leads us in triumphal procession. Now, people living under the reign of the Caesars in the Roman Empire all would have been familiar with what a triumphal procession would have looked like. It was a show of force, a show of power. It was a sign of victory that our side was dominant, and there would often be strange animals and loot and treasure, and even people who had been taken captive or prisoner would all be part of that triumphal procession to show the victory and the power and the might of the Roman Empire. And Paul is saying that Christ leads us in triumphal procession. Christ leads a very different army with a very different goal than the Roman army. And Christ is going to, not sometimes, Christ always leads us in triumphal procession. And then we have a rule. It says, "And through us spreads in every place the fragrance that comes from knowing him." I don't know how good a nose you have for things when it comes to aromas and smells. I think people like Sarah Kemp and others who work in our meditation garden, I think they could probably walk by something and say, "I smell a particular type of flower." I'm not great at that. I'm good at smelling warm cookies baking. Those I can smell. But, some people wear perfume or cologne. They have a particular fragrance that they like. And why do people wear perfume or cologne? Well, they wear it to basically cover up bad odors and in order to smell good. And they hope even appealing, maybe even desirable, maybe even to attract another person to them. So Paul uses this image for us as followers of Jesus, that one of our tasks is that God through us spreads in every place. In other words, everywhere we go, we should be bringing the fragrance of Christ. And what is the fragrance of Christ? It's all the aroma that comes from the fruit of the Spirit. It's the fragrance of love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and gentleness and all the rest. That's the fragrance of Christ that the church is to spread everywhere we go. And by doing so, we hopefully will help to attract and draw others to be part of the triumphal procession that Christ is leading us in.